Hi YouTube, I thought I'd come on here and ramble a little bit on my soapbox. Today's topics, I wanted to talk about ghosting. Men want to be wanted and women want to be desired. And I promise you it's all going to tie in together at the end, at least according to how I feel about it. So where shall I start? Okay, so women want to be desired. I always tell men, if you want to understand romance, like how women operate, read a romance novel and you'll realize a few things about romance novels, but I digress. Let's just stick to the main task here. So the main focus of a romance novel, the main theme, is how a man finds a woman magnetic. He wants her and only her, and he's just obsessed with her. That's a big part of the female fantasy for us. We want someone who's obsessed with us. Not in a creepy way, but, you know, and if a woman likes you, she's not going to find you creepy. Anyways, I digress. So men, what do men want? Men want to be desired, and no, men want to be wanted. I'm sure it's both, but, however, if we are picking the part about wanted, I shall say this. I'll put it this way. Men want to feel like if they were missing in your life, you would feel their absence, so to speak. You would miss them. You want them, right? You want them. You choose them, right? Which is sometimes part of the romance novel as well, right? So she's got this other person, and then she chooses him. But it's always been this theme, really, with human beings. If you go through the literature. And it remains quite romantic, and it ignites a lot of romance. So, with that said, let's say a man comes home tired from work, and, you know, he's in the mood, right? So he makes a move on the lady. Now, the lady's been working hard all day long, doing her thing, and that's spontaneous sex for you, right? So men have that spontaneous desire a lot. Oftentimes, that's their sexuality. It's more spontaneous. And so the woman goes, "Not today, honey. I have a headache." Or "Not today. Not today. Not right now." He begins to feel rejected. The opposite of wanted, right? So it goes back to men want to be wanted. So let's say he stops touching her. He gives up. Or he feels rejected, right? He feels maybe a little bit of resentment. She doesn't want me. Well, then he stops touching her. He stops initiating with her. And then she begins to wonder, well, why doesn't he desire me anymore? Is there something wrong with me? Am I not attractive to him anymore? So there goes the piece with desire. And then you're in this perfect storm. If only he understood that for her, it would have maybe gone a long way if it had been more in a spontaneous manner, right? He wooed her, he courted her, he read those romance novels and got some ideas. But he didn't, and so now he feels unwanted and she feels undesired. It could always be fixed with communication, psychoeducation, vulnerability, good therapy, but I will say that society does a horrible job of making men feel like it's okay to be vulnerable, right? There are sexualities in the organ itself, right? It's stamina, it's youth, it's prowess. Oh, you can't say that word. But which is why when they hit midlife crisis and their organ isn't as functional anymore, it takes a big hit to the ego. And there's a whole rabbit hole where I could just dive into that, like existential psychosexual psychology. But if you take anything from this video, from me rambling at all, try to make your partner feel desired or wanted. Try to understand where they're coming from. Try not to personalize things, and try to communicate, right? Try to get to know their sexual side and make that communication ongoing. It doesn't need to be a one and done deal, right? Now the other side of it, the ghosting. Did I mention? I think I mentioned already that I'm going to tie this into ghosting. So everybody and their mother is being ghosted these days. And it's very hard on people's psyche because the brain has a negative bias, right? It's like, well, what did I do wrong? Is it something I said? Was it the way I look? Do they not like me? It must be every insecurity that I hold. But I don't want you to think like that, because A, it's more about them than you, trust me. And B, we want you to be in a place of internal validation to the degree to which external things don't hit your sense of self, your sense of self-respect as much, right? You want validation to come from within and not be built on other people, especially strangers that don't know you. And with ghosting, let's say you did marry Casper the friendly ghost. Well, actually, unfriendly, because it's not very friendly to just text, and woo this person, make them feel like, oh, everything is so great, and then all of a sudden, nothing. It's harsh. But let's say you married Casper the unfriendly ghost. Well, if I had to put my money on anything, I would say their behavior, when you got to know them, all the things that you looked away from, all the things that pretended were not there, are probably going to come out and be amplified when you get into a relationship with them. Maybe they'll ghost you after you have a child. You never know. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise. And if that person doesn't have the character to actually say, I'm sorry, but it's not what I want. It's just close the door politely. Then take it for what it's worth, and you have to ask yourself. You got to take them first off the pedestal, and you have to ask yourself, is this the person that I have been making up in my head as this hero or this princess or whatever, whatever you've been fantasizing about? Because it's not, right? The limerence stage has you in a hyper fixated, like, halo effect. I would do anything to be with them, but trust me, once you have them and you're with them, all the things that you would have looked away from will be amplified. You can't hide all that stuff unless it's really worked on. So take it as a mixed blessing, and maybe do the opposite of limerence, right? Think about all the things that you didn't really find attractive in them. And the biggest one of all, in my opinion, is their inability to actually be present. Who wants a partner that doesn't want them? Who wants a partner that doesn't desire them? Is that what you want to be played out throughout your relationship? You don't. So, with that said, work on that internal validation and find that person who wants and desires you.